again. Hello, everybody, and good evening, good afternoon. And today we have a special call with our CEO, Ramin Mesgarlou. And for the people that first time here, please let me give you a small history about Ramin. And so, on between 1990 to 2003, Ramin built four multi-million dollars MLM businesses as a distributor. On 1999, he founded MLM's most advanced MLM university, the Forensic Networker. On 2005, founded MLM's premier and most prestigious MLM company. On 2010, he voted World Top MLM Compensation Plan Expert. In 2011, featured in Networking Times as Master Networker. On 2013, featured on the cover of American Business Journal with Warren Buffett. 2014, he voted world's second all-time MLMer businessforhome.org. In 2015, nominated for Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. In 2016, voted in the MLM's first inductee Hall of Fame with Paul Zane Fielder and like. And 2020, his company ranked top momentum company in MLM in the pandemic, BFH. Also, he voted top networker again by BFH. Good evening for you, Ramin. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So happy to see you.
Is that your first time doing this?
My first time that I'm producing you, but first time that I'm hosting. Yeah.
You did great. You did great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is all yours.
Wonderful. All right. So we want to talk about presentation a little bit tonight. So let's start with a question. How many of you guys have been on the Exit AMA that we've been doing the last 2 weeks? Let's see, go in the chat. John, yep. Sean, yep. Karen, yes. Lots of you. Lots of you. Wonderful. How many of you have actually conducted an AMA? I'll get to what AMA is in a minute. I know Ronan has. Isaac has. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So you have to become always be student of whatever it is that you're doing. You know, I always say I pity the man that thinks he's an expert at anything. I'm constantly learning, and often I learn from other industries, not from our industry. I've already spent 35 years here. I already know what they do here. So you want to change something, you go outside. And with Exit ecosystem up and running, that is one massive business. That is one massive industry. But because it's led by the younger generation, they're not really professional, they're just excited and they love technology, and but you gotta pay attention and see how is it this industry, the crypto industry, is the fastest in history, human history, to hit the $1 trillion mark. And recently just hit 2 trillion, but let's just say trillion. It took Apple 30 some odd years. It took Microsoft 30 some odd years. It took Amazon 28 years. I mean, all of the biggest company, Tesla, I think was the fastest one, was 18 years or something. And then it took crypto 12 years. 12 years. Fastest ever to hit $1 trillion. its adoption was faster than the internet. You know how the internet started? Well, the crypto adoption is faster than the internet. So you got to take a look and say, okay, how are they growing? I never really paid a lot of attention until we started marketing our own about a month ago. As we looked into it and we saw cryptos they're doing some basic things, but they do it very well. And they're not really professional about things, but it's effective. And because it's so simple, anyone can do it. And the main thing that we saw that they were using in all platforms is something they call AMA. AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. Quite different than in regular business, right? Regular business, come to a presentation, especially MLM. Come to a presentation, you know, we call it a tour, and all of this. But, you know, Zoom calls. But with crypto, no, AMA, and we've been doing it for Exit Lab. And I just find that it's so much quicker and faster, and I can really see why the crypto industry is, and by the way, crypto is not a simple thing to understand. It isn't. I mean, it is it's blockchain. You know, this is one of the most sophisticated, confusing things for the average person, unless, you know, so even for educated people, even for intelligent people, it requires a lot of time to learn it. You have to learn it. And yes, so the blockchain itself isn't a simple thing to adopt. It's the way they're expanding it is simple. And one of the key things they use is called AMA. I thought, you know what? MLM can learn a lot from that. I did my first AMA a couple of weeks ago. Initially, I had my PowerPoint ready, but as I got into the AMA, I did the first one for Exit. I realized I didn't really need to go through the PowerPoint. And he kind of went through it and skipped some, and it wasn't actually, I wasn't showing a PowerPoint. It was just in front of me like notes. So it wasn't on the screen or anything. I was kind of going through it and doing the information. And I realized you don't need a PowerPoint. Now, if you have it, you want to do it, the platforms enable you to do that. You can actually show PowerPoint. If you want to be on camera yourself and just have a nice conversation, you can do it that way. If you just want to no picture at all, just on the phone, you can do it that way too. I still got a bit of a cold coming back from Miami. Imagine, we live in Canada, we don't catch a cold. We go to Miami on a ship and we catch a cold. So anyways, I thought, you know what, the MLM industry can learn a lot from this. The MLM industry is an old industry. And it doesn't evolve very quickly. It doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't is because people at the top, people like me, you know, I think I'm pretty quick on, you know, I teach the concept of evolving in forensic, but vast majority of crypto industry, they're old fogies, been a long time, they made a gosh of money, but they don't evolve. And because they don't evolve, the duplication is always the same thing. So I was looking at this, and I'm being interviewed by people who are not professionals. They're not professionals. And people messaging me, and they build this massive groups, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. And they're not professional. But they do it through this AMA thing. I thought, wow, what a concept. It's not much different than a Zoom call. It's just the way it's executed is so different. It's so quick, it's so fast. I said, you know what? MLM can learn from this, and we may be the first company doing this. We may be the first company doing this, but we're the first in everything anyway. So tonight I thought I'm going to show you guys some information, give you some information about it. I actually wanted to go on a platform, and together we can learn it. But I got too much to talk about maybe on Saturday. This is going to be part of our training, how to do an AMA. And you know what I love about AMA? is that all of you can do. Doesn't matter if here's the plan. You get somebody in on board in Opulence, week one, they just participate in, listen to AMAs. You doing it offline, doing it. Week two, here's the bullet point, they're doing the AMA. It's just that simple. So let me just go through some notes I have here for you guys. So it stands for ask me anything. I mean, that by itself is kind of relaxing, isn't it? It sounds quite different than, hey, come to a presentation, or get on a Zoom call, or Zoom presentation. By the way, they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. We need both. Just make sure I'm clear on this. So AMA and Zoom calls or presentation, they're not the same thing, and we need both. You need a Zoom call for something more professional, elaborate, bigger, groups, whatever. That's a Zoom call. And then AMA could be 1 person, 10 people, 500 people, but it's more of a conversation. Zoom calls or presentations all about professionalism, order, it's visual and auditory. You need to be polished with regards to understanding the topic. AMA, it's good to be like that, but you don't have to be. And because it's a conversation, it's not designed to be professional, it's designed to be a conversation. So let me just take you guys through some notes I got here. So AMA is not a tour. We need both. So it's not one replacing the other. What I like with AMA was that it's going to really speed us up. 2024 is we're about speeding things up. That's why I said, a couple of weeks ago, we're going to remove some acronyms from our compensation plan, make it simpler, faster. Even some of the changes we're bringing to some of the bonuses, make it quicker. Like for us, it's all about now speed. And this came at the right time. It came at the right time because we made that announcement a couple of months ago, and we didn't think about anything on the presentation side. We did do a new PowerPoint, but this is something different. So AMA, what it does is speeds up your recruiting and getting your clients. Why? Because we know MLM is not about facts. MLM is about stories. So we tend to put a lot of facts in the PowerPoint, and it needs to be. If it's a corporate PowerPoint, corporate tour, it needs to be professional. And so we do it that way. But I'm sure you guys will agree, one of the most powerful calls we have is a Fountain of Life call. I think you guys do it on Wednesday or Thursday with Dr. Henry, right? That's exciting for you. It's working for you. Why? It's a conversation. It's stories, right? Really, it's an AMA on its own. That's what it is. It's AMA on Zoom. So we're just going to take this another way because Zoom is still something you'll get on. But AMA is something you do on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp. So we're going to really implement this in our system. Where on a hit, you talk to somebody, say, hey, I'm interested in that. Okay, good. 5 minutes, I'm going to send you a link, get on this call. Right? And the driving home, click the listening. No sign up, no nothing, no Zoom, nothing. It's just basically they go on the WhatsApp, they click, and they listen. It's so much faster. AMA is an instant decision. It's instant. I get people calling me on Instagram. I don't know them. They just, I don't know, they find you. And I know that I got this big group. I want you to speak about your token, in my group. And I'm like, okay, sure. So 5 minutes? Like they want to do it now. Because it's social media, right? I mean, there's people on the chat group and boom, they go out there and whoever shows up, shows up. So again, it just makes it so much quicker. Speed. It's an instant decision. Somebody says, hey, you know what? I know 5 of my friends would be interested in this. Great, I'm going to do an AMA in about an hour. Send you a link, send it to them. They're all their own home. They're not coming to anywhere. Doesn't matter where they're at. Click. They're going to go on their WhatsApp. They're going to click and they're in. No sign up, your name. I think that's another thing that I like because when you do this AMA, they don't ask you what is your name and email address and all that. It's like click and you're in. Of course, they allow you to speak, if the moderator wants to. You can show your video and all of that stuff. So I love it. It's an instant decision. AMA now is an instant, so you don't have to worry about when is the next presentation. My prospect is interested. You can stop an AMA the same day. You can just sell the same day. So it's an instant decision. It's multiple times a day. You can do it multiple times a day. I think what's going to happen is that people will do this. And then now we have 20, 30 AMAs a day in different time zones and languages and stuff like that. Because it's a simple thing. It's going to become that, hey, I'm doing an AMA in, I don't know, Japanese because, and at this time or in UK. And people will get on. Just share the link, share the link, share the link, share the link. Hello, Natamon, Thailand. So simple. It's not a presentation. That's why people feel more comfortable and people will do it. At the end of the day, it's action that we want. It's the stories that needs to get out. Everybody knows how to tell the story. Not everybody thinks they can do a presentation, but everybody knows how to tell the story. What's AMA? Ask me anything. Who doesn't want to talk? Most people love to talk, right? Talk about themselves, the stories. So simple. It can't be a chat. It can't be a video. So you can get on and not actually have a video like this. Or I like to do eye contact with people online. Or you could do it in a video format. And I think it's better to the video format. Let people see that you have nothing to hide. That's one thing that you have to worry about crypto. The people who try to sell these services, their phone's not there, their name is not there. Nobody knows who they are. So yet they want to sell these services. But that's the whole thing about crypto, I guess. It can be anonymous. But we can learn from that. We can learn from the fastest growing revolution in the world. Faster than the internet. Crypto. We can learn from that and bring that into MLM. MLM can definitely use this. Natural conversation with this presentation. I think most of you agree too. Now, some people kind of like their professional framework. That's fine. I think those people also can appreciate a conversation. I think everybody appreciates a conversation. And AMA is that. And I think it's the reason why everybody will do it is because they're not worried about being a good presenter. They're not worried about, am I going to read off the thing while people are watching me? To them, it's like, okay, I have my notes here, and whether I'm on camera or not, I can just talk about, because all of you guys know your business. Right? You all know your business. You all know your product. You all know your comp plan. You may be afraid of doing public speaking, but you all know it. You may have a hard time, maybe get nervous or be composed or maybe read properly, but if leave you alone, oh, you guys go, right? Because you're confident. You all know your business. Presentation is something different, right? So that's why AMA is so good. Because it's more like a chat, it's more conversation, it's not presentation. What about AMA? Because it's not a presentation, you don't need to cover the entire business. So you got a lot less points to cover, but it's more detailed. We go to a presentation with like 60, 70, 80 slides, right? We're trying to give the whole, because it's a professional thing. People come out and, because they took the time to come out, we want to really give them all the pointers. But AMA, nobody came anywhere. And you could do, by the way, different AMAs for different things. So AMA is a lot less points. That means you're not rushing. You're talking about your stories. You're telling a story. You become a storyteller, which is the foundation of MLM. Be a storyteller. So although they use the same type of tools, then tour, it's a complete different concept because you feel relaxed, it's more chilled. You're not trying to follow a format, you're just having a conversation. And everybody knows how to have a conversation. So less points, more details. So you kind of makes, I think I'm going to make what I've done basically for exit, but I'm going to do some bullet points. We'll even have a PowerPoint because some people like the PowerPoint, which is great. And even the PowerPoint is still not as detailed as an Oculus PowerPoint because it's an AMA format PowerPoint. Less points, more detail, and because having visual is good too, because a PowerPoint can be also visual. So based on bullet points, look at the first point. Like I'm right now, look at some bullet points. My bullet point says simple, not the presentation. I don't need to read anything. I can just tell you that and talk about it, right? You can all do that. You can all do that. My next point says, bullet points, not a PowerPoint presentation. I can talk about that. You can talk about that. It's no sentence to read. You don't come out of your natural zone. You're having a conversation. So here's another thing about the AMA is that you could start two ways. You can have someone host you, and you can do two ways. And the host will just ask you questions, predetermined questions, and you just answer those questions. That's one way. You just say, hi, how are you? So here's the first question. You've seen it on YouTube, right? Or they ask you questions, just answer the questions. That's one way to do it. The second way is you're confident that there's things you want to say before the questions. Then the host will give you the floor. You do a preview as long as you want. And then when you've finished, he'll ask you the questions. Of course, then the questions will come also from the listeners. Because it's so simple, right? You send somebody like, hey, get on. And people will get on. Try to keep your emails down about, like, mine's been about, well, the presentation says about 20 minutes, but then there's conversation afterwards. And that usually takes, what time the questions are done, it's about 40 minutes to 50 minutes. It doesn't feel that long though, because it's conversation, it's both ways, and people are talking and asking questions. So it's not like a tour where they're sitting there for 45 minutes and just watching and listening to one person talk. It's very, very, very cool. So you can answer questions. There's no particular order. Because you don't have those formalities, your delivery improves. You're talking from your heart. Because again, you all know your business. I mean, I go around the world and I see when people do testimonial about one of our products, and I see they just pour it out, right? Because you know the product, you know how you feel, you can really display your feelings if you don't have to worry about how to put it in words and sentences, right? You could just be you. Which also means that you have to be careful that you follow your bullet points. Maybe they've got 15, 20 bullet points and you want to make sure you cover them. So you can't spend, doing a 10-minute testimonial for yourself. I mean, I don't think that works either. The people who are on there, they'll give you, if it's interesting, they'll give you their time, 10, 20 minutes or so. But so you don't need to really stretch testimonial more than a minute or two, because there's a lot to talk about, even if it is just for a product. So AMA is easy to share. Again, social media, WhatsApp, text message. Here's a link, click on this. There's an AMA going on. What's an AMA? Ask me anything. You know the business I've been doing last year? Yeah. Get on this while you're driving, just listen to it. We got a new product coming out. Listen to it. Hey, here's a link. What is it? We got a new product coming out. The vice president of product development, she's going to be talking about that. Hey, click this and listen to this. Hey, listen, you missed a call. Here, listen to this. I'll call you tomorrow. Again, it's such an easy thing for the person. It could be working and click and listen, and as they work, they'll just sign in, put the name, all that. I think people like the fact that also it's private. It's private. I think people really like that because it's private as well. They don't need to put their name and stuff like that, phone number and email address. So it's easy to share. It's easy to get on, click and go. Easy to set up. So this is something I wanted to practice today, and all of you can do that because you guys all know how to get on social media because you want it all the time. But perhaps most of you never actually put an event together on, say, on Facebook, right? TikTok, Instagram. And it's not hard at all. I was looking at it today and Ivy was showing me. You just go to the events. You can either do it, go live now. Live, you go live. You can go live now or schedule an event. That's it. You schedule an event, you put in your details. I don't know, it's a new product, Divine's gonna change the world. And done, share the link. That's how simple it is. It comes up nicely, put all your details, and I know some of you guys are gonna become really tasteful and do it nicely. Put images in some of these platforms that allow you to put an image there. So now you got a link. Your team is sharing the link. You can create the same link. I'm assuming you can. You can create the same link, and then keep using the same link all the time. So it's just a much faster way Zoom is. I mean, Zoom is still good for crowds. If you want an hour long or longer, it's fine. I really like the way crypto does it. I mean, 12 years to hit $1 trillion to Tesla 18. It's the fastest growing industry in the most complicated industry. I mean, blockchain, it's not easy to understand. Cryptocurrency, it's not easy to understand. Yet, it's a fact. And it's because the kids, the younger generation, they're too smart. They're so smart they don't have to be professional. And they're quick. And I love that about that industry. It's annoying a little bit, but I love that. So we can learn from that. And that's what AMA is all about. AMA is the new version, fast, quick version of what we're used to, which is Zoom. So ask Telegram groups to arrange an AMA. Oh, here's the best part about this. Since AMAs are going on everywhere right now, especially on Telegram, and Telegram is global. Now, if you're not on Telegram, you're the minority, okay? Because I travel the world and Telegram is everywhere. In some places, WhatsApp is not allowed. Like I was just in Dubai, you're not allowed. WhatsApp doesn't open in UAE. It says in Iran and different places, but Telegram is everywhere, right? Everywhere. So you want to make sure you download it. And I really like its privacy, security, and all its options. So, so you can go now to Telegram and search for anything. You can say, I'm looking for AMA in, Arabic AMA or Hebrew AMA or in nutrition or Tagalog or Thai, and all the stuff shows up. Then you can message, say if it's health, for example, because we do that right now with Exit. Then you can tell, okay, who's the owner of the channel? Somebody would say it's me. He's got 5,000 people, 10,000. Listen, why don't I give you $50, $100, free bottle, and we do an AMA together. And that's what they do, by the way. That's their job, right? So they'll take your $100 and have you do an AMA about your product. And I find this is such a cool thing. For 50, $100, I mean, you couldn't even now some may ask more depending what size is the crowd, but I mean, I used to run ads 20 years ago in newspaper, it was like $1,500. So, and we were hoping to get the audience, right? So now, every single day, you can actually have an AMA on Telegram, Facebook, all these places. You can join communities, right? Whether they want to do business or not, you can join a health community. You offer something to the group owner, and you do an AMA. That's a beautiful part about it. Again, get a free bottle. It's not business presentation. That's what makes it fun and easy, right? It's it's all about stories. The stories could be about the products, say from Revolution, a particular product, or the story could be about the business, the comp plan. It doesn't even have to be that. It could be about you. Your AMA could be about your entrepreneurial history, 20 years of being self-employed. Of course, that leads you to openness, right? This is what I do and work from home. And so these people build these groups, they do it for a reason. They do it so you can either sell products or, give you a stage to speak. They'll charge you, and you can speak about your product. So it's amazing. It just opens up so many doors. And again, the reason why these opportunities exist is because there's a lot of them out there. Literally, in 365 days in a year, you could probably do 2 AMAs every single day. Because there's so many groups out there. And they want your $50. They want your $100, right? They want your free ball. So it's amazing. If I'm going to travel, I've been looking for chat group, different chats before I go and get those chats in that country and do some AMAs, build some relationships. And when I'm there, I have a bunch of appointments set up. So remember what I said earlier, people join communities whether they want business or not, because people want to be around people. That's what these groups are so good. So being part of the community, they have them, BNI, right? The business network. So technically, that's a more professional way where you go in the morning and you pay this fee to be part of this networking event, and they give you 5 minutes to talk about what you do, right? It's that, except it's online, and you could do it with 5,000 different groups and not BNI group. So AMA, you can do AMA on niche products, with all the products. You can do AMA on business opportunity. You can do AMA on opulence as a community. How about that? That's a nice conversation. You can do AMA about you, your entrepreneurial background, your history. You can do AMA on expansion. So where we have an office in Philippines, you should be thinking, okay, we already have support system in Philippines, right? So I need to get some Filipinos to know that. Find some chat groups, Filipino chat groups about health, about MLM, about blockchain or crypto, or whatever, right? Reach out to the chat owner and say, look, I'd like to do AMA with you. And what's nice about it is that they don't charge a lot. But the really doesn't matter what it is. Now, the only thing you gotta worry about in these things, a lot of time, these chat groups got a lot of people, but they're not real, right? Somebody just built it up through. But it doesn't matter. We're not that. Remember, we need 1 or 2 good people, and we set for life, right? So we keep on doing AMS. It's simple, it's cheap, we're at home, and it's effective. So you can do that. If you want to do AMA on, on the Thai channel, you can choose your AMA by language. Today I was telling the exit team, I said, okay, get me AMAs in Russian, give me AMAs in South Korean, right? We choose because we want to get into those areas that we know that blockchain is big, crypto is big, right? So you can do that. You can say, I want to do AMA in Italian. There's a lot of chat groups. You can build Italy, right? So AMA on. So I talked about earlier. Don't worry about being nervous because you can do your AMA not actually being on camera. You can shut your camera off, and you can do your AMA like this. Well, it's kind of weird now because you see a pretty girl, and here I am this man's voice coming out now. But you can actually do a AMA, and now they don't know that you're looking at your notes. You can look at your notes, and nobody can see it. You have a nice conversation, nice conversation, without people looking at you. I personally like the, because I think people look at your face, they trust you more. I think it is for like and trust factor. I think it's important that we got the video on, but you don't have to. So once you do your AMA, it's a quick send. You know, quick, hey Jack, check your WhatsApp, and click and listen while you're driving. Right? Hey Jack, click on this while you're driving, right? Hey Jack, will you work? Listen to this while you work. Right? It's simple. Somebody says, watch your file here, I send you a link in about an hour. Just click and listen while you work. It's a lot easier than trying to get them to get on a Zoom call. So you can use AMA as a great tool for training your team, right? Because you do AMA, how I did it with Exit, I did the first one and passed the PowerPoint to Itzhak. I think he was number 2. He did an amazing job, unbelievable job. And that's nice for me because we're trying something new. Now he's very gifted and talented anyways, but at the end of the day, it was nice to see it work. And after that, I think Ronan got on and he did a nice one. And so you can just pass it on. So now that you have, and how they did it, they basically look at my AMA, they use it for training, took some notes, and they did it. And they're going to teach their people the same way. You'll do the same thing. So you're going to do an AMA, a few of them, might be thousands of them. And every time somebody says, well, how do I do it? Here, listen to this, take some notes and do it. Right? You can use it for training. This is a lot easier because, again, people don't worry about, the number one thing people worry about is public speaking. There's no public speaking here. That's why people adopt this. It doesn't surprise me that's the fastest growing revolution in the world. They've kept it so damn simple. And you know what? There's 2 ways to get your point across. One is data. So if you're an engineer or scientist, you would appreciate that. Accountant, you appreciate that. And one is emotions, energy, enthusiasm. An average person appreciates that. You put it together, you've got a nice mix. Hard to do. So it's growing fast because people say, give me the notes, or they take one of the AMAs, they take some notes, and they just have a conversation. It's a great tool to step up into a leadership role as well. Who doesn't want to say, hey, I did an AMA already, right? I asked that earlier, beginning of this call. And I said, hey, who did the AMA? I think, Renee, did you do an AMA as well in Exit? Because I know Renee is all over this too. So what a great way to move up to the leadership role. It's a great step into participating, becoming a presenter. You know, a lot of people, because of the fear, public speaking fear, they never take that first step. They never do. AMA eliminates that. Of course, once you do your AMA, you're comfortable now. It's conversation, right? The next step after that, maybe do a Zoom call, and next after that is going for a Zoom and do presentation. So it just makes a lot of sense. And this is how simple it is, which I already did here with Exit. Actually, I didn't even do it this way. I did it faster than this. But literally, you can, in the first week, you can do your AMAs for your new team. Week 1, you do it for them. Week 2, they're doing it. I'm talking about the new guy, the guy that just got launched. The new girl just got launched. First week, you do the AMAs for them. They set it up, you do it for them. Second week, they're doing it. That's literally how fast it is. Now in Exit, I didn't wait that long. I was just too busy. I did 1. One. Then I went to my group. I said, okay, guys, here's a PowerPoint. Here are the notes. Who's next? Isaac was next, and he just knocked it out of the park. And then boom. So I did one, right? It reminds me when I was on the field, my first company as distributor, I had a policy that those presentations were long, like 500 pages that we went through, and I had a policy that I do the first two presentations for you. The third one I'm there, but you're doing it, but I'm there, and after that you're okay. That was my policy. And it seems like I'm back to that now, except this time I did one, just got too busy after that. And I passed it on, and everyone was having so much fun with it. Later on, I'm gonna have some of the guys who did this, they can share with you their experience, but it's a lot of fun. So the thing about AMA, because of conversation, it doesn't require practice because you talk about your personal knowledge, right? Like if I threw an AMA at Dr. Henry, he'll just talk about what he knows. If I throw an AMA at you, you just talk about what you know. Nobody knows what the format is, and you know enough to sound like an expert in anything. All of you know enough about our business to sound like an expert. And it's a conversation. I can guarantee you, any one of you here, if you and I sat down, we had a conversation for 2 hours, you'll be talking. And if you're good, you'll be going. Because you're excited. You've seen a lot. You've seen a lot. You've seen so much, and now it starts to flow. And that's what happens at MLM. With AMA, because AMA, you start to flow with stories. You can't do that with PowerPoint, right? You got to follow the PowerPoint. Maria's here. I can see Maria on the AMA. I mean, she's such a good storyteller, right? Very, she'll knock it out of the park. Just absolutely knock it out of the park. So you can have a good chat with your team members on the AMA as well. So for example, you got a new team now. What we do right now is a lot of trainings, right? Which that still stays. The trainings are there. But we can break down those trainings into little pieces where we start with half an hour of doing the training, and then AMA for the next half an hour. Then next AMA, another half an hour of next training, and then AMA after that. And I think it's a nice way to do it. Where instead of having like a 3-4 hour training, half an hour training, and AMA after that. 45-minute training, 15-minute AMA. You could do longer AMAs because it's interactive. So people actually don't get tired of that. It's pretty cool. So AMA can be done on social media, Meta, Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, TikTok, X, YouTube. It can be done anywhere. And I think this is what makes it so quick to adopt, because everybody's on social media. Not everybody's on Zoom. Not everybody's on Zoom, but everybody's on social media. So, so basically, you go just schedule an event, and it's so simple. I was looking at it today. It just basically says go live. It says go live, and when you go live, two options, right? You want to arrive now, or you want to schedule it. That's it. It's just so simple. It generates a link, and you send it out. So let's just bring back some of the guys who've already done it, and now this. Remember, now you can't say well because they know the topic. This is exit now, right? This is a new thing at them, right? This is not the opulence thing that they would know. This is a whole new thing. So let's get Renee, Ronan, Zach. I don't know who else did the AMA. I know a lot of my staff did it, like Caesar did it, did a bunch of them in different languages. So whoever's done these, just come up and tell me what your thoughts are about AMA. Even as a leader, even if you haven't done it, but if you're a leader, if you like AMA, what your thoughts about it, Renee, what your thoughts about it, and tell me, how did it go the first time you tried it? Just put your hand up, Ronan, if you're on.
Hello, good evening, Ramin. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, just busy packing. It's gonna be crazy, hitting about 5 different countries starting tomorrow. So it's always
How are you? Where are you going?
well, yeah. So the first stop is Philippines. So we have Philippines in Manila, and then Davao with the Philippines team. So of
Tomorrow.
course tomorrow. Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow night. So
No
it's just busy.
way. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Time flies. Time flies. Thank you. And then we head back to Taiwan afterwards, and then I'm taking a quick family trip to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. And then back to Taiwan. We have actually I've been contacting a lot of our Taiwanese distributors, so a lot of meetings happening there too. So just been busy, but
I'm proud of you.
again,
What a
oh,
general.
thank you,
What a
thank you,
four-star
sir.
general. He's not hunkered up in the bunker. He's on the front lines. Good for you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Well, again, personally, when I see you working the way that you work, I feel ashamed if I'm not working any harder than you should be. So, but again, I just follow your lead. But yeah, back to your AMA. I think it's an ingenious idea because what really happens is that a lot of people actually have questions, and sometimes they don't really want to get on perhaps a tour call that's going to be like an hour long. They just want to kind of ask their questions directly and be off of it. And so the one aspect that I've seen so effective is that you actually answer the questions that the person wants to ask. At the same time, though, what ends up happening though is when they join these calls, they're also hearing other people ask questions, and they kind of stay on the call. They stay on. They're learning more. They get more excited. And so I know that I was talking with Sanaz just the other day, and she was mentioning about doing this as well, of course, for opulence. And I think it's a wonderful idea. And if anything, I think that for the people in our company is going to raise up a whole lot more leaders, a lot more knowledgeable people. Because sometimes you think you know it all, and then you do one of these AMA sessions, and you kind of realize, that's that's a great question. I better go and find out the answer to that, right? So, but I love that direction. I think it's going to create a lot more activity. Number one, a lot more knowledgeable people, and of course, a lot more excitement towards building eggs. Actually, one of your friends, Kuchim, that you mentioned before, yeah, he's back in Canada, and so I'm actually inviting him to an AMA as well too, sometime tomorrow before I take off. So, for me personally, I think it's a great idea. I want to give a quick salute to, of course, Itzhak, Ronan, because I know that they've also done some amazing AMAs, and I know that John is looking at doing that, and same with Henry. So just a kudos to anyone who is part of our exit. Marketing group, and of course, we can always looking for more talent and more people who want to help us spread the word. And of course, what better way than to increase your earnings than by helping us run these AMA sessions? So, yeah, so I can't wait. Thank you so much for that, Ramin, and back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? It makes it simple, right? It makes it faster too. Because if somebody calls me up and say, "Can you do a meeting for me?" Yeah, okay, let's schedule it, right? If somebody says, "Hey, can we do an AMA?" Yeah. So I mean, like, it's just fast, right? Because you're not trying to be a presenter. Ask me anything, right? If I told you, you know, give me a presentation of your life, like you'd be talking about, let me prepare this. If I told you, tell me about your life, you'd be like, oh, right? So that I think that's what it is. It's got that element that people are confident and it's fun. All right,
And
so
yeah,
go ahead.
oh, sorry, to add that, I also find that the reason why it's so effective, you kind of just mentioned it, is because whoever is available at that time, they'll just hop on. So rather than it being, hey, you know what, join this webinar on Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and here's different time zones. It's more like, hey, AMA, okay, I'm free. Okay, well, let's hop on a Zoom call right now and get your questions answered. So I think it's a lot more convenient. Henceforth, you'll have a lot more turnout. So yeah, I just want to add that quick point. Thank you, Remy.
I agree with you. I think we'll have like 500 people there because it's such an easy thing to pass on. But I could also see somebody who's brand new says, "Hey, I set up an AMA. Who can do it for me?" In the chat group, "Hey, I got an AMA. Who can be on?" I'll be on. I'll be on. I'll be on. And I think that's a lot of fun. That's a safe trip, young man. I'm proud of you. And let me know anything you need. All right, who else is on? Wants to share?
Hello, CEO from Thailand.
Hello, hello, hello. Is this Ronan?
Yes, it is indeed. We are we are on hyper turbo motions here. Uh, First of all, I'm so excited that we are going to be the first company in this industry that does AMAs as a form of exposure, and that's very exciting. I've had so much fun doing this AMA, and I'm really looking forward to doing many, many more because I believe it will fit to almost any level of distributor, because you come as an independent distributor, and as long as you say that in the beginning, you know, you're there to share your enthusiasm together with people at your that are the same as you. You're not a representation direct of a company, so it really allows you to take it easy. You can really do an easy story for the first 20 minutes, and then all the fun's happening when people start to ask questions. And I believe this can literally be revolutionary. I'm listening as you talking, and I'm seeing all different forms of AMAs. They can be actually not just on Telegram, they can be on other platforms too. You can actually do an AMA on Zoom too without videos. So I believe Telegram will allow us to utilize, as you said, existing communities that you just go to the organizer and say, hey, listen, I can entertain and educate your community about one of the most exciting business platform. You know, let's get an AMA. And the results of this can be magnificent, because even if, I mean, there are communities of 30, 50,000, sometimes more. Even if you only get 50 people or 100 people listening live, this thing will go on and on videos. You can spread it on all the platforms. I believe it is literally brilliant. And I have to say very big thank you to you on a different topic. You gave me a really important tip when I arrived in Thailand, and you told me, Ronen, go and see every person that makes a purchase or at least volumes of about 200 CV, and pick up the phone and say thank you. I actually started to do that, and then I started to find out that there are so many people in depth, not only that I don't know, but they have been brought up by people that are not professional, they're hobbyists. So they might take a product of ours and they do their own little thing, but so many people out there do not know what we are and who we are. So that got me to operate in a different way, and I've just started to call all the 700 partners, from the newest to the oldest, in the market in Israel. The results are incredible. I've made 132 phone calls in the last 4 days. I've been sleeping about 3 hours every day, and the results are insane. I'm finding people that from using a product has suddenly heard from me after 20 minutes, and they said, I can't believe this is going to change our life. I can't believe we didn't know it exists. We thought we thought the company was called Fountain of Life. So it's amazing how much we are not aware at the people in our network. And I would advise this to everybody. Take a list of your network and just take a certain number of calls every day. You are going to reach incredible people that actually really need us. So I just wanted to share that because I'm so excited. I'm pushing everything as much as I can. And I want to do as many AMAs as I can, at least until the 6th of October, because over there I have to shut off for about 10 days. I'm going for a very exciting reunion with my kids in Australia that I have not seen for almost a year. So I promised to sort of shut down and be with them, which is not easy for us because, you know, one day without our community, you feel already alone, though they deserve it. So, yeah, from the 16, when I come back, I hope there's going to be already at least 50 or 100 of us that are doing AMAs all over. Please don't be scared of it. Practice it, even if you need to just do it with a few friends on Telegram just to get comfortable with it, learn how to operate it, and then go. It will allow you guys to fly. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Ronan. Actually, what I'm going to do, make it easier, because I'm going to give you guys AMA bullet points. And of course, it's going to have scripts as well, but you don't really need it because you'll know. We'll put it there just so you can study it, but the whole idea of AMA is not for you to read anything. It's for you just go, no, you know, you got about 20 minutes to 30 minutes to talk about things. And you guys can come up with your own AMA bullet points. You all should do, because maybe you're focused on the skincare line, maybe focus on the shampoos, maybe focus on toothpaste, or focus on FYL or whatever. Divine is coming out, the college is coming out. So you'll set your own bullet points. That's beautiful about AMA. You know, you can set your own bullet points that people ask you questions. couple of, and everything come at the right time, because the thing about the AMAs in these groups, most of them, they want crypto as payment. How awesome is that? Now you can just give them exit. You can't even do that without exit. We wouldn't be able to do this because nobody takes a credit card, right? Nobody takes a credit card. You wouldn't want to give it out anyways, right? So how do you pay somebody? You can't. With exit, now you can. We've done over 1,100 transactions with 1,100 transactions with exit in the first month. It's incredible. Did over 1.3 million in flows. And so the point is, now you can get exit. Now you have access to millions of chat groups, so you could utilize their audience, because exit allows you to do that. Here's another thing too. You can now you can build your own channel, right? Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Telegram, whether it's on whatever, you can pay people to build up the group for you, and then build it yourself with interesting topics. So now you can build your own Telegram channel. You can build your own WhatsApp channel. Oh, it's going. Can you see where it's going, right, guys? It's going crazy. That's where it's going. It's going crazy. All right. So what else we got on? We got Zach on, right?
Yeah, I didn't speak yet. It's just amazing. We've been doing AMAs already for Opulence for a while. I didn't know that it was called AMAs, but these kind of video sessions that you represent a little bit the product, a bit the company, and then you have like a bunch of people coming and asking questions. And then later the video begins to circulate and more people see it, and you see it gathering hundreds of views. And when there is somebody new and he says, okay, why don't you just watch this video and then we talk? Suddenly you have a basis to talk about, and you see, this is the thing, because I can come to a presentation and people can think, okay, this guy learned it all by heart. But when they see me sitting there and interacting with the people, and now somebody asks a question and I say, oh, wow, that's so nice. I didn't have so much time to talk before, so I could only talk about a limited number of subjects. But now with your question, you give me the opportunity to speak about something else that I also wanted to discuss. So they see, I'm comfortable in my own skill. I can handle any question that comes my way. This speaks volumes. So you make friendships, you create relationships, because in the beginning they see you not as a lecturer, but as somebody who is open for a dialogue, somebody who will take any question. It is just very, very powerful.
It's like, why don't you, like, you're the second one, you're the first one after me that did that AMA. So why don't you tell the people who are watching right now, how did you do it? Like, how'd you prepare for it?
Okay, this was difficult because first of all, the subject was new. I'm not coming from crypto, and definitely even in crypto, exit is something so different. So obviously, I've been in the website, I've studied the roadmap and the white paper and the special document that you made of 10 pages. But still, I was listening to you in an AMA, and you asked me to do one, and I was like, how am I even going to do this? This is impossible. I'm not Ramin. I'm not sitting in his seat. I haven't gone through 3 years of research, not let alone I didn't invest $5 million in that. How am I going to do this? And then I said, you know what? I'm a pianist. How do I study a piano piece? I do it very slowly. I just take the notes. I study note by note. Let's do the same thing. So I played your recording at 1/2 the speed. I sat with a Word document open. If necessary, I slowed you down even further, and I wrote down everything. After I had it all written out, I said, okay, let's go over it 12 times, 15 times. And every time I change the order a little bit, I add something, I remove something, so that the content remains Ramin, but the voice becomes Isaac. It sounds like me, but basically I'm saying everything that you were saying, just making it sound authentic. And that's what it was.
And you know what? People have to know, you don't have to be as, as fluent as Isaac. I know he's got that radio voice, and it's very fluent, but you don't have to be that. And it's not about that. It's nice that all kinds of people can come in and do your way. I'm not as fluent as he is, but I know my topics, right? As long as, and I know you guys will flourish. Why? Because you know opulence well. Everybody knows opulence. This is not a new area like Exodus, and I know every single one of you. If I had a conversation with you for an hour, you have a lot to say, and that's what makes it so great and powerful. So I think you're gonna have to start getting your people now doing opulence AMAs.
Definitely. And we have also a Telegram channel. And if you see the chat, already we are going to have an Opulence AMA with Ronan, and probably also an AMA, an exit AMA. We're going to make this run in many places.
Wonderful. Thank you, Zach. I know it's the middle of the night for you, isn't it? What time is it?
It's now 4 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, but it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Thank you
wouldn't
for being
miss
on,
this
my
for the
friend. And
world.
thank you for what you do. Appreciate it.
Mhm. Thank you for everything you do and for making this company such a dynamic place. I mean, you join as a new person, and it's so quickly that you can get involved in the doing, in the action. Something new comes out, you can be there right away. It's amazing how quickly it's possible to be noticed and to do small things and medium things and big things. This is all thanks to you. This incredible mobility that you created. It's amazing.
Thank you very much. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this little note in here. Not that you guys can actually use it. I don't think you can in here, but maybe put some. All right. Who else should be going on? Anyone else? That's too much. They won't let me do it. So anyone
We
else
have
is on?
Jazz Marcus.
All right. Sorry. Who's on?
No, I
Ramin.
say we have Jazz Marcus who want to share.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, from Ronin to Itzak to me, they're all my uplines. I need to say something. Do you remember about 2 Wednesdays ago or 3 Wednesdays that we were at the head office and we did not go through the usual product tour? It was a nice question and answer portion. It's just like AMA. We just had a different name out of it, but it was very interactive. We answered the questions right away, real time. They did not have to sit down and wait to raise questions, right? That was very interesting. And to me, that's even better than following a structured presentation because we've been going there like every Wednesday, every Wednesday. So we have to create interest. We have to make sure that people participate. And some people are just very shy to share, but once they feel comfortable, then questions keep coming in. So whoever has the expertise in that specific topic will jump into it and answer the question. That is very nice. We're going to do it on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. We have one Wednesday every month at the head office, and we call it Wednesday socials as well.
I look forward to seeing notes everywhere. Everywhere. Different languages, different places. You know, I look forward to people coming. I just was on 5 different AMAs because my team is going nuts with this. And that's how you take over the world, guys. That's how you do it. You build momentum, easy way to share the information, and just do a lot of it. Remember, in MLM success is not about knowing 5,000 things. It's knowing a half a dozen things and do it 5,000 times. And AMA is one of those things that you just do it over and over again.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, Ramin. I cannot wait to hear more about the AMA and hopefully to do one for the Israel network as well. Probably in Hebrew. I think going to be easier for me. But it's amazing time to learn how to do it. For all of the people that watching us, it's very important. And so thank you very, very much again for the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we're good. Just looking forward to seeing everybody doing AMAs. I like to see dozens every day. Let's go, team. 24 is going to be interesting, beautiful, best year yet.
Thank you very much and have an amazing day, everybody. To the billion.
The billion.